Welcome back to our guide on how to prepare for your copywriting interview. In this video, we'll be covering the second section, which is about them, i.e. the questions that the company will ask you with respect to them. So once your employer has learned a bit about you, they would want to know how dedicated you are to this position, how much research you've done into the process. So before your interview date or interview time, it is a good idea to take some time out to research the company, go to their website, go to their LinkedIn, figure out what are they currently doing. When I say what are they currently doing, I mean you need to figure out who are they serving, who is their exact target audience. If they're serving teens, they're serving adults, they're serving kids, of what region, of what occupation, and in what industry. You need to know what are they selling and how are they doing it. Is it a software company? Is it a service-based company? Is it a product-based company? You need to know this stuff. Once you know this, then you need to know who's running this business, who's the team behind. If it's a startup, there's likely going to be a small team below 50 people, and it's not too difficult to research who's the creative head and how do they go about things, what's their approach to developing content or copy. So if you can do that, it's really good for you. It will leave a really good impression. And the third thing that you need your employer to know when researching, the things that you need to pick from their LinkedIn page, from their website, is what do they need to do in order to improve? Of course, with respect to copy, how can they improve? So when browsing their website, look at the pages. If you see an area of improvement, note it down, and you can mention it when the interview is actually going on. If it's an in-person interview, you can still take a notebook and refer to it as you answer questions. Now, what will these questions really look like? Usually, this question looks as simple as why us? Or why do you choose to work with us? Why do you think you are a good candidate for this position? Although the last question that I just quoted mentions the word position, it seems like it's about the position, but it's not. It's more about your understanding of the company. This is what they're trying to assess. And you need to begin your answer with the values. Back to the research process, when you were researching, we discussed that you need to know who do they serve, what do they do, and who runs the team. Also, yeah, I guess that's what we covered. Once you know this, you also need to know what's their mission and vision. What values do they practice in their daily work lives and as a business? So when answering the question that is why us, begin your answer with the values that they prioritize. If they are focused on bringing out results, or they are growth oriented, then you want to begin your answer with how growth oriented, or this is not a hack, by the way. If you don't believe in their values, you don't have to forcefully put it out just to win the position. There must be a value within their mission and vision that resonates with you. And what you need to do is find that value and quote it in your interview process. If there isn't such a value, then it's not a good company for you. You won't fit in. It's a bad deal. So hop out and you notice that. Okay, so once you've mentioned the values, you need to get to the point after mentioning the values of how they align with you and you think you'd be a good fit. You need to propose where do you fit in the whole scenario. If the team is, let's say, of 5 persons, how can you help them excel further as the sixth member of the team? And how can your copy further add value to them and their customers? If you have switched to them from previous company, then it is a good idea to give a contrast of what lacked in the previous company and what you can find here. Now notice I am not asking you to speak ill of your last company. That's not a good work ethic. It's just not okay to do that. But there must be a lacking in your previous company which pushed you to get another role. So make it a point to mention here so that you're clear with them about what really appeals you about them. Where do you see them? Most employers will not ask you this question because it's a common perception that they will decide so. But as a freelancer and as a copywriter, business is a lot of your business. I mean, in the sense that it matters to you just as much it matters to them. So if they're not generating revenue, it directly affects your skills, your work life, everything. So you need to talk a bit about where do you see them going, or if they do not ask you, maybe question them. Where are they going as a team? What are the next steps? What are the next goals? It will give you a clear idea if you're making the right choice, and them as well, because then you both can actually work together more effectively. That's about it. Again, most companies will not ask this question. So if they do not, always make it a point to bring this up at the end of your Zoom call, or if it's in person, then at the end of your discussion. If the interview process is going on email thread, then you can bring this up in your last emails when the process is heading towards finality. And one good way of bringing this topic up is suggesting a change in their existing copy, such as on the home page or wherever you deem it appropriate. That's about it. See you in the next video.